My name is Victoria Manya, and I'm a doctoral candidate at the ASC, the African Studies Center at the Leiden University in the Netherlands. The theme of our paper, because I co-authored with Mandipa Ndlovu, is tracing Africa's preparedness. And this is within the context of economic recovery amidst COVID-19. The main thrust of our argument is that as government in Africa, they need to do better. The responsibilities of the government are enormous, but then so are the opportunities and resources at hand. It wields a lot of power. It wields political power resides in the government. Economic power basically resides in the government. And the control or the frameworks around all of these socio-economic elements also reside with the government. So basically the government can do and undo, right? In the strict sense of the word government. Bearing in mind that there are certain mechanisms that are put in place to check excesses. So we are saying that two things have affected, one, preparedness amidst COVID, and secondly, they would also affect recovery after post-COVID. And these two things come under the umbrella of policy. So policy framings, the first is institutional monocropping. So it's an age-long practice that we wait for externals. World Bank, we wait for every other development partner apart from our government to provide data. How can you rely on externals for something that affects you so significantly, affects everyone within your jurisdiction? For instance, during the COVID-19, suddenly Africa was shutting down. I expected crisis management that was context-specific to our issues. How can you compare yourself to climes or economic climes that are more than 80% formal sector, when you, for instance, Nigeria, is more than 80% informal sector? It's a mismatch, a policy mismatch. I'll give an analogy with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. It is expected to be one of the mechanisms that would, or vehicles for achieving the SDGs if you look at the frameworks around the plans, the strategies and all. Digitalization is also one element that young people have hinged on in recent times. And the young are growing. They are especially innovating, right, within the confines of technology. And the APRM for me is also one of the presentations indicated that there would be a knowledge hub. And I think that makes me go home happy, because it is, rather than saying this is what I think you should do, right? The APRM is already thinking about it. So how do we harness the intersection between development or governance, innovation, the young people who are leading in the various ecosystems across the world? And I hope this is not me being utopian, expecting governance within fantasy. But I'm hoping that post-COVID, governance should be evidence-based. Policy should be evidence-based. Data is important. You cannot rely on externals for your data. Secondly, I think that in the design and implementation of policies, there should be a top to bottom, bottom to top, not just the top to bottom engagement in design. So basically, policies should be inclusive. There are certain voices that have been shut for too long, but you make decisions for them. We cannot go on like this. because things are falling apart.